I would want that. Pedicures, all that kind of stuff. I'll have to try one of those one day to see what it feels like. You girls get way too many perks that guys never have. And the cover, this cover, I remember this. In fact, you wouldn't believe how I can recall every little thing that took place in these old covers. I don't want to say old. Covers from the past. How's that? Okay. I'll tell you everything about this cover just to show you I remember. This cover was done in cell vinyl paint just after I got done visiting this great illustrator named John Berkey. John Berkey lived in Minnesota, for which I feel so sorry for him. Minnesota and Chicago are the coldest places on earth other than Siberia, but it may be a toss-up, I don't know. So I visited John Berkey, and I had the greatest time. He's such a great, humble man. He's passed on now. Being passed on, I don't know. That's kind of not fair. You know, I think these guys should live for another 100 years at least. But life dictates that it doesn't care if we can't live for another 100 years. Need to take that up with the guy upstairs. Anyway, so this, what I got from this was that John Berkey used a brush that I'd really never seen anyone use. When did I do this right here? 86. Wow. Isn't that the year I met Harry Anderson? Yes, I do. I was a busy guy back then, flying everywhere I could to meet my great idols and learn about 1,000 new things that I didn't know at the time. John Berkey used a 1-inch brush to do a lot of his stuff. So me being the smart guy that I am, I wanted to be part of the 1-inch brush club. That's what I called it. Its entirety of the membership was me. So I got up my 1-inch brush and I used a lot of it on here, and it was a blast. I used the 1-inch brush for a lot of stuff, and that's what I did a lot of this with here. And I had so much fun. So that's what I did it with, and I like the way it turned out. These days I could do a lot more refinement with that technique, but I'm proud of it for what it was, and I just remember having a great time. You know, it's funny because I wasn't planning on bringing this up, but I was looking at an old portfolio of work that I had done back when I was a college student. You know what I took from that? There's work that I did back then in 1978 that I couldn't match today. Can you believe that? It's true. Some of the work I did back then is equal to what I could do now. Do I feel bad about that? I guess I should, but I don't. It's just the weird displacement of time versus talent that nobody can account for. I just know that I'm not big in kidding myself. If it's good, it's good. In some ways, I could do likenesses better back then than I can now. So I hope you artists out there, it makes you feel better. It's just the way it is. And I can't account for it, so I don't even try.
We've got a comment.
We have a comment. Okay, what is it?
Creative Faye says, imagine how good of an artist we could become with another 100 years to work on our craft.
That is if you knew really what to do with it 100 years. Some people would squander it just like they do the 70 or 80 years that they have in this mortal lifespan. So hopefully they would do something with it. I keep bringing up some of these books that we've done here. You guys know I'm really big in animation because I keep talking about it all the time, and a lot of times the things I demo here on the live streams are about animation. Well, I had the good fortune and the brains to put out a book that talks exactly about animation. This one talks about the animated Nexus book, the Nexus animated show that I've been working on for a long time. I thought, why don't I take all the work I've done in this and make it pay? So indeed I did. So for Creative Faye, this is what I do to make it pay. If you don't have this book, shame on you. It tells you everything that I've learned. And given that it's a spiral-bound book that's not going to fall apart, like my spiral-bound sketchbook, I consider that a bargain. The best I've ever had. What else do we have here? Oh, we have a figure drawing book. I'm so proud of this right here. You guys have seen the figure drawing book from Loomis, the best I've ever seen. Well, this is a humble companion book. Basically everything I've ever learned from Loomis and every other figure drawing book I've ever had. It looks like, let's get to a good page here. Oh, we can turn to the hand page, I suppose. Let me turn it around so I can actually see what I'm doing here. That's not one of them. Here's some poses of the girls. These are taken from photos that I had of a model from a ways back. I just adapted them and put them in this book here. No, we don't have them to show on the screen, but some male models right here that these have all been modified from the photos I took. I take liberties with them to make them more Loomis-sized, as I would call them. Babies. Baby. I like babies. There's a baby. A Leyendecker baby. Baby. And some girl and male figures. It's all about comparisons, how to do these things. I've even got Mona to endorse my book. Now that really says something, doesn't it? Anyway, the book is full of great, great stuff. You see, we've got practice pages for you guys to attempt your own stuff here. And who could forget how we make a comic? Now, this is a really big book, a really big shoe. How long is this book right here? It's 250 pages. A proper amount of grief because they couldn't draw as good as him. He's kind of like the Milt Kahl of Hanna-Barbera. It's a toss-up as to who is the worst to work with. Space Sargasso, if you were able to see it on one of the DVDs that they put out of Space Ghost, is amazing. When you see an episode laid out by a superior artist, it takes your breath away. And I happened to be at the San Diego Comic Convention when this episode was being shown on film in one of the convention rooms, and I had a hard time recovering from this, as to be expected by anyone, really. It featured a guy called The Lurker, lurker here. Yes, One Eye. A strange ship enters the space area. Destroy it. Yes, lurker. This is One Eye right here. Alex designed all these characters right here, which is an amazing feat just in itself. There's One Eye ship, and there's the Phantom Cruiser, in which resides Space Ghost. The way these cartoons were done by people with a brain in their head. In any given show, there's no guarantee that anyone has a brain in their head, but there's a proper way to show a show in the most fundamental and most dramatic way to show it. Alex Toth kind of had that. I don't think his comic work was even one half as good as these shows, but something was going on in his head that made this stuff very, very special. So they noticed something, and let me turn around here. They would go from, there's something going on, be careful, to the smoke gas. And that's all they needed to do was just put an arm level on this, and they'd show the smoke gas. And then I saw something that I never saw before. Is a layout like this right here. Would fall down, and Space Ghost would just turn his head. So that's just a head cell. And then, of course, a close-up, which is necessary for a dramatic increase in tension. A long shot again, the twins are taken off in the ship, and then they're wondering why no one was able to follow them. And then we end with this shot right here. The dummies happened to paint his hand red, so I got in with my paint and changed it, not allowing for moronic mistakes as I tend to do. So what I got here on these large shots, I just brought these up to show you what someone who really knows what they're doing did. On the last shot, now hopefully these are things you can see in your screen right here. This shot is included because it was not a show laid out by Alex Toth. I kind of looked at this as someone should have worked a little harder in this one. So this is the one I'm going to draw today. So meet me over at the drawing board. That should take a couple seconds. I'm going to pin this up about here, put some tape on it, and I'm going to try to draw what I think is a better version of the artist that did this episode right here. So a little bit of tape will do you. Let's grab an appropriate drawing tool, which I'm always looking for at the last minute. Okay, here's a dark pencil. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to kind of block this in with a red pencil, which I've just randomly picked for the sheer heck of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend the line of action a little bit here. Okay, so you can see how I start. This is how I start everything. With it's not just starting with the things that I'm supposed to do, but I'm starting with an image in my mind, which is one of the things that has been coming almost in an instantaneous kind of a way that I don't think I had when I was younger, when I wore a younger man's clothes. Which is good because I was a lot skinnier back then.
We've got a question.
Yeah.
Popping Coca-Cola asks, what was the inspiration for Vivian in Nexus?
Oh, Vivi Catterwall. Mm-hmm. Well, we had Jill, who was a cat lady, dick lady as I would call, and she died. Ursula killed her. Shame on her. So